All right, Risk reporting here, live from ECS Season 3 Finals for CyberSport.com. I'm with the legend, of course, FalleN, who just defeated FaZe in the group stage. And what a game it's been, but you talked about the game a lot, so I'm not going to really jump into that. We're going to talk about your games when you get into the playoffs as well. We're going to go into analyzing that. But I just want to talk about your position right now in the top, because we saw you last weekend winning at the DreamHack event up in Jönköping. Now you're here as well. You're already doing well in the group stages. How do you see yourself against the arguably the two other top 3 teams, FaZe and Astralis?
I think the top tier of CS right now is our Stacked. So it would be very cocky for me if I just say we're the best team in the world. I think the #1 position is just a number right now. There's a lot of people and a lot of good teams that are fighting for it. So when it comes to trying to understand where we are exactly where we want to be. We're on all the stage, we're all playing all semifinals, and if you do that constantly, the trophies are going to come sooner or later, so that's our mindset.
All right. Coming into the next couple of events, of course we have the major coming up, and one thing that I noted as well is that Fer has started playing really up to his potential, and we all know Fer is a world star player, but Colteros and you especially have always been the #1 and 2 stars in the team, but Fer is playing really well lately. And do you have kind of an explanation? Do you have changed setup, maybe roles, or do you have an explanation of why he's doing so well? Because we saw him top frag in that game just before.
I think Fer is very pleased with the way we're playing right now, and after FNX's departure, I think he felt a little bit more comfortable with his game, and I think it's part of the meta changed a lot. So if you look for our team when we just started playing in North America, Fer was a beast. He was our best player by far, and then Coldzera came. He started dropping a little bit because there was just not enough frags for both of them, and then I had some good time also last year. So it kind of changed accordingly to how the game is being played. So sometimes it's good for his play style because he's very aggressive, he's looking for fights and he's winning it, but there are other times where he's been countered, people know what he's doing and all those things. So I think it's a mix of both things. He's more comfortable with things we drop at FNX, and also he had a good time on this play style in this match he's been playing right now.
Okay, talking about dropping FNX, not about the actual drop itself, but the new player, of course, coming into the team, Phelps. We all know the Brazilian scene is so big a talent. So, how was your process when you were already looking into getting the new player and you were picking Phelps into the team? How was that whole process like?
So, if you had to choose a player from just to fill FNX shoes, it wouldn't be Phelps because he's a very different player from FNX. We'd probably have picked Lucas if he wanted to accept our offer, or other player, because it's players that have a little bit more of characteristics that FNX had in the past and play the same positions, all those things. But with Phelps, we knew that the potential of him would be bigger if we could adjust him, or even if we could find a new way to play. So since we added Phelps, we tried to change a little bit of our game to make his things work. But later we found out that it was more about Phelps understanding the way the team likes to play and how everyone feels comfortable, so he could find himself a place. And that's why I think we're succeeding right now, because he's understanding and he's learning more and more, and he's the player we need right now.
Okay, so the last question for this interview here. One thing that I noted about you, and one thing that I love seeing you play and also seeing you do the veto process, is that your map pool, in my opinion, is very, very deep. You have a lot of maps that you can play very well on. How do you think you stack up against some of the other teams map pool wise? And do you have any favorite map going up against, or for example in Astralis, maybe a G2 that you played earlier today?
Yeah, so basically I think our map pool keeps changing. We play 6 maps. We only don't play Nuke because we think it's too difficult to play this map. But about the other maps, it's up to the map we put more work, I guess, because when we just brought Phelps, we had a little bit different preference than we had right now. And that's because when you lose some maps, you go to the practice 1 or 2 weeks later, you keep practicing this map, you change stuff, and then suddenly you didn't practice enough, the maps were good already, so you kind of drop on this one. So right now it keeps changing for us. We thought we had a very good overpass, but suddenly our overpass is not that good anymore, but we're fixing it already. And then it keeps changing, but we're very comfortable playing all maps despite Nuke.
All right, thank you so much, Gabriel. Thank you for this interview, and good luck in the tournament.
Thank you, appreciate it.